Hi guys, this is Kirill, your Justice analyst, and today we're of course continuing with the Eurovision 2025. And today it's time for actually one of my personal most favorite countries in Eurovision Song Contest. I know it's very controversial, but it's Australia. Still, many people are not really over the fact that Australia, which is geographically really the furthest continent from Europe most probably, or well, it maybe can compete only with Antarctica, takes part in the competition which has the word Euro in its name. But well, I don't really want to judge politics or geographical locations of the country. I just know that Australia is sending each and every year quality. They were sending some very big names like Jessica Mauboy or Guy Sebastian. So really the top tier Australian artists, I think only like Kylie Minogue or Delta Goodrem would be even one level higher with regards to their popularity and international recognition, but nevertheless great stars. And in the recent years, Australia decided to take quite an interesting approach. They stopped organizing the national selection, but they started to send the artists who actually finished second in the previous selections. And what is Australia doing this year? Well, this year they took the band which had third place in the Australian National Selection 2019, asked them to write a song, but decided to go for another singer this time. And the chosen singer is a 29-year-old Gojo, who became really viral in Australia and also on TikTok with his song Mrs. Hollywood 2 years ago. Standing in line for Mrs. Hollywood. But can his Eurovision entry titled Milkshake Man, and which was written, as I have said, by the members of the band Sheppard and by the singer himself, can it become another viral hit, another viral sensation? Let's just find out, first of all, what the lyrics are talking about in the song Milkshake Man. If you really try to read between the lines, then many phrases actually have a very double meaning, I would say. For example, the first one, come and take a sip from my special cup. It might seem to be like an invitation to try a unique milkshake, but I think the hidden meaning is something like a suggestive invitation, maybe referring to some intimacy. When Gojo is singing, I got flavors, I got sizes, I got what you need. Of course, it could be that the vendor is just offering us different milkshake options, but I think the hidden meaning is also some sort of metaphor for offering various experiences and sizes in a romantic and sexual maybe way. And then some phrases like, I can tell you want a taste of the milkshake man, or for example, I will keep you coming back again, are definitely sending greetings to Erika Wickman, I think. So it seems like we might have another one of these playful entries, just in this case, knowing what kind of artist Gojo is, I think it will be a completely different vibe. So not some kind of strong pop diva vibe, but more like light rock, a little bit indie inspired. But in any case, enough guesses, let's just go for the first listen. So as usually during my first listen, I will not stop the song, I will listen to the whole one, but I will still give my small remarks from time to time. So let's go. Pick me up. What can get you high when you're oh so sad? Sounds very modern, I really like the instrumental. Well, I got chocolate. You can call me the milkshake. Oh god, this music video. It has this nice nostalgic vibe. Gojo seems to be a great performer, so much charisma. It's also so catchy. What does this Eurovision do in the second semi-final will be absolutely crazy. Also, there is even text in French. I say sweet, sweet, you say yum, yum, sweet, sweet. Guess also a nice moment maybe for interaction with the crowd in the arena. Yeah, the instrumental is really great. I really like it. Very good production. Yeah, great entry from Australia. So in general, I think the entry is great. My only concern is that we already have 2 other entries which are also playing on the same field with this kind of a little bit sexual undertext. But this song has definitely a different vibe. I really like this kind of synthetic pop element in it. It also reminded me, because of that, a little bit of those entries by Dathi from Iceland. So, you know, if Australia also comes up with this kind of quirky, memorable visuals, I think the song can really go very far. But now let's go for the second listen, and then I will pause throughout the song and we will discuss some particular parts. Such an innocent beginning. You really expect that maybe some kind of song like Luxembourg this year will now come, and then it starts going completely different way. And look how expressive he is. It's definitely adding some additional points to the song. Caramel and banana that you have got to see. Well, yeah, these undertexts are quite obvious, but I really like the simplicity of the lyrics. So for the European public, it will be really easy to relate, because of course most of the audience who are watching Eurovision, they are not really speaking English so well. And if they're using this kind of simple words, which kind of everyone knows and understands, it's really helping them to catch the audience even better. You want a taste of the milkshake, man? So it will be a very theatrical performance, you can already say, from the way how he's singing this. And this part is very addictive, where this kind of backing vocals are singing this part with ooh. I think it sounds very cool, and the instrumental is just a banger. I think by this time it's already becoming a little bit repetitive. If I'm not mistaken, I think now it's already like 3rd time that we had the same type of verse and the same chorus. So the song maybe doesn't really have a proper bridge. Let's see. You say yum yum, sweet sweet. So this part is just perfect to interact with the crowd, and I think this kind of more funny entries, they really need the crowd support. The song is really good. I just have to admit it kind of becomes a little bit repetitive, so they really need some very interactive staging to keep the crowd interested until the very last second. Yeah, really nice entry. I think first time that we have this kind of funny entry from Australia. So actually in 2024, Australian juries were absolutely in love with Bambi Thug and her Irish entry for Eurovision. And Australian Televote, on the other hand, was in love with Croatian entry Rim Team Tagi Dim. So I think it's not really a huge surprise that this year Australia has decided, well, we can also do this kind of cool, funny bangers. So something creative, something very different. And that's why they brought Gojo with Milkshake Man this year. If the Australian jokes will be understood, or if European public will not really get the vibe and get the joke, the time will show. I think in general the entry is very much energetic, entertaining. It has some great interactive parts to interact with the crowd. For me, it was only missing some huge explosion in the end, but I think Australia can definitely achieve this with the staging. But now let's take a look how Australia actually did in accordance with the televote in the last 5 and in the last 15 years. So as you can see on your screen, Australia, of course, due to the non-qualification last year, has lost a couple of positions in both of these ratings. So in accordance with their results in the last 5 years, they're right in the middle, place 15 out of 31 entry, and in accordance with the last 15 years, where of course Australia didn't take part each and every time, they're a little bit higher on the place 12. As you can see, in accordance with the televote, they missed qualification 3 times. One of those 3 times they were luckily saved by the juries. It was when Isaiah was representing Australia. I used to move in fast to erase my past. And the difference of jury opinion and of televote opinion about that entry was so huge that actually the juries have ranked Isaiah back then in the semi-final as second best, and then the televoters as third worst. So luckily in the end he was in the final. But yeah, if we talk only about the televote, it would have been not qualification that year. But now let's take a look where Australia will perform in the Eurovision 2025. And as you can see on your screen, it will be second semi-final and unfortunately it's first half. Well, on one hand, it's of course good that Australia is not really close to Finland and Malta. I also hope that the producers will really put some gap between those entries. I can also imagine Australia maybe even opening, but there are also two other very good candidates to open the show in the first half of the second semi-final. It would be of course Emmy from Ireland, and Ireland also has never opened the show yet, and also Armenia, Park. I think this kind of anthemic arena pop would be also a great opener for the show. But now let's take a look what the Eurovision fans think about the entry Milkshake Man. So as you can see on your screen, Australia is currently ranked 13th, so behind entries from Spain, Latvia, Luxembourg and Lithuania, but above, for example, Estonia, which is also playing on kind of similar field, Ukraine, Italy and Armenia. So it seems like still the jokes from Malta and Finland Eurovision fans understood better, which is of course not surprising. Eurovision fans generally prefer female singers, but I nevertheless would have expected to see Australia probably in the current top 10 out of the 22 entries. So seeing Australia being out of it is definitely not a very good sign. Now let's focus on a more objective rating, and it's bookmaker odds. So as you can see on your screen right now, Australia is in top 10, so on place 10 behind Belgium, Portugal and Czechia, but above Netherlands, Malta and Cyprus. So of course the entry was released just a few days ago, so bookmakers maybe haven't adopted the coefficients yet. So far, based on what we have seen in this music video, I can't really see Australia finishing top 10. I can definitely see Australia being in the final, but being more in the second half of it, because I think this year we have some other funny entries which are definitely not as radio friendly as the Australian one, but which nevertheless I think will captivate the European public a little bit more with their live performances. But talking about the live performance and the potential staging, well, they should definitely play with this milkshake theme. I remember in 2019, I think there was the entry from Ireland, which also was heavily utilizing the theme of milkshakes and this kind of American diner.
Every time I'm with somebody, I'm confusing him with you. I've always been a
Unfortunately, these visuals didn't really help so much. They were also not really so relevant for the song at all. And Ireland anyway finished in the last place in the semi-final. But if Australia takes this as an example and then just adds a lot of additional quirkiness to the performance, because this is obviously what the song really asks for, then it might become a strong candidate for the top 10. So that's what I have thought about Australian entry. Unfortunately, it's not a second Dami Im or Kate Miller-Heidke, but nevertheless, I think they have a very nice radio-friendly song, which can definitely profit from a very, very good and clever staging. Please let me know down below in the comments what have you thought about this. If for you it's already a safe top 10 candidate, kind of like the bookmakers see it, definitely share with me your opinions, subscribe to my channel if you still haven't, like this video, and tune in for the next one. Bye bye.